All right, welcome to Whiskey Bandit Reviews. I'm Eric.
I'm Josh.
All right, and today we have Bluegrass Distillers Toasted Oak. It is a small batch whiskey. We're going to give you our initial impressions of it and our overall thoughts and score.
So let's drink on that.
Okay, Josh, so we picked this up, I guess it's been a couple months back now. We went up to Bluegrass Distillers up in Lexington, Kentucky, right next to Wessex Brewery, right?
It is indeed.
Saw a homeless guy there that was threatening to kill people, and we were locked inside.
Literally.
We were locked inside the distillery for about 20 minutes. And
It's a very interesting experience.
It was interesting.
I will give the distillery credit, though. They handled the situation very well.
They handled it as best as you could. The police showed up. That fella was escorted away, and hopefully he's doing better now. But our tour definitely got better because we went outside and we tried several bourbons. A couple of them, I recall, I don't think I even finished because I didn't really like them. Sorry, guys.
Yep.
And maybe what else? They might have some other whiskeys like gin and vodka or whatever, like kind of what all these places do to get started.
They didn't have the most consistent lineup. I'll say that. Some of the whiskeys that we did try were not the best, and they had the pickle.
Oh yes, they had a pickle flavored whiskey, which was atrocious. A bad idea. Should never be done.
Maybe if you really like pickles. I even do like pickles, and
I like pickles.
Still was just I don't know what to say. There are no words.
Peanut butter whiskey, dill pickled flavored whiskey. These are things we shouldn't be doing, guys. We don't have to do that. We could just make something good like this. Because apparently we liked it enough to walk away with it. Now the label on this thing is killer. It's got a jockey there on a horse, some cool colors. Josh.
One thing. Being from Kentucky, bluegrass is synonymous with the state.
Yep.
This was not established until 2012. How did it take until 2012?
What are we doing, guys? We should have
for Bluegrass Distillers to come around.
We should have stole that many years ago.
This was just a neat little detail that I seen on here too. Established in 2012. The jockey is number 12.
All right.
Pretty neat.
Makes sense.
There does appear to be a typo on the back that they have corrected with pen. Looks like it originally said aged at least 2 years in new charred oak barrels, and somebody went over top of the 2 with a pen and changed that to 3.
So,
So either 2 or 3 years, we're not sure.
Interesting. So I guess minimum for it to be bourbon technically is 2 years, but you don't really see any 2-year stuff that is worth really spending your money on.
Yeah.
I didn't get a price on this. I know it wasn't cheap.
If I'm not mistaken, and this is totally spitballing, I could be way off, but I feel like their stuff mostly in-house there was in the $50 to $60 range.
Okay, yeah, that seems about right. But this left enough of an impression that I thought I needed to leave there with it. So here it is. Toasted oak. What do we mean by that? And does anyone else do that?
I know we have a few others back here. I believe we have one from Michter's. What is it? Elijah Craig?
Elijah Craig, yeah, they do
it. Typically, I believe it's reintroduced after ages into a toasted oak barrel. This one says for 21 days. Some of the other ones vary a little bit, I believe. But it's usually, as far as I know, somewhere in that kind of area. They usually call that a finish, which you'll see I don't know if this one says that or not, but normally it says finish on the label itself instead of.
This one does secondary aged in toasted oak.
Okay, so
barrels.
they use the word age a second time. It seems.
I guess 21 days is an age. Because
I know. I'm interested to get back into this and see. I know typically on these kind of finishes, you literally get. It says toasted. It tastes like marshmallows.
Absolutely,
comes to mind. You get a lot
Campfire.
of that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And you get kind of like that sweet, kind of like different finish on it. So yeah, I'm interested in that. The Michter's and the Elijah Craig, I think both say that they're finished. Both of those I think are around 20-something days too. So this one says aged for 21 days. So I guess technically that's correct terminology, but most people, or it seems the other distillers don't use aged. They say finished. Maybe like finished in a sherry cask or so that's interesting. I love the bottle, love the label. That label it's really slick and like, man, that thing is stuck on there. Especially for such a small like craft distillery. If I'm not mistaken, they're going to be moving soon. They won't be in downtown Lexington. I think they're moving out to Midway.
Yeah, I think that was part of the tour. They kind of gave us a little detail in the upcoming move that they have over the next couple of years. A very nice cork pop.
Yeah, I got some little bit of strength into that one.
Yeah.
So props on this, an actual cork with an actual wood top into what is a very nice glass bottle and a very nice label. So the packaging, Bluegrass Distillers, you get an A+ on that. I like it.
Very cool packaging, very cool name.
Yep.
Cool logo.
Cool logo, cool everything looks cool about it. What's it say on the side there? Let's see. Kentucky bourbon crafted with unbridled ambition. We're big on the whole unbridled word here. Each of our bottles is craft. We started from scratch, mashing each ounce of grain by hand. Our toasted oak bourbon is first aged in charred American oak barrels. We then finish it in a toasted oak barrel defined by its gentler char, which enhances the bourbon's flavor. So yeah, kind of what we talked about.
Yeah.
That's a sick bottle.
Something else kind of cool to mention about this place too is, they do have the main like guest area when you come in that has the, merch and stuff like that. As far as the rest of the distillery goes, it literally is 2 rooms for the time being.
Yeah. And I think maybe even some of it may be featured on our intro video, so hope you didn't skip through that.
Yeah.
But I think there's some Bluegrass Distillers featured on the intro video, along with I think Wilderness Trail is the main portion of it, which.
Yeah. So as you mentioned too, that it's moving to Midway. It says on this side over here, we invite you to Elkwood Farm in Midway, Kentucky. So I guess that's the name of their new property.
Okay, yeah. So I think they purchased a pretty significant portion of land out there, an old mansion type thing that they're going to make, I guess, their main building. So, yeah. Let's get a nose on this thing.
Very sweet. It does not smell like I had in my mind. I'm getting like a maple type, like just very sweet.
Okay, so I get, like you said, sweet, I get like a very rich kind of caramely taste, and I don't know if that's coming from the toasted. You said you didn't really get it, but and maybe it's just because you mentioned it, I do get that like sitting by a campfire kind of marshmallow smell off of it, kind of like a toasted wood, which is what it is. Kind of like cedar almost, the sweetness of it, like cedar wood.
Yeah, I definitely need to get in here and because I know that has to be in there somewhere. I'm just off the initial, of my initial smell. I didn't get anything past just sweetness.
Okay, what kind of sweetness are you getting? Because I definitely get the sweetness. It's very prominent.
Yeah, I mean, literally, if you just had like a stack of pancakes in front of you, like it almost smells like that level of sweetness to me.
It's almost like kind of vanilla extract, like that kind of sweet. So very prominent. Very small hint of oak. That's not very present either, which I wouldn't expect with it being such a young bourbon, whether it be 2 or 3 years.
Right.
I assume it's 3. They messed up on the labels and they corrected those. Or some rogue just went through with a pen, just changing their stats on their bottles, which would be something.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine that happening. Okay, so I'm trying to get in there a little farther past the sweetness and everything. I do get a little bit of the like toasted scent. It's still not as prominent as I feel like it probably should be. I don't know why I'm not picking that up right now. It's not hitting for me.
I wonder if that's maybe because one, it's not aged as long, and then it's finished or aged again also appears to be younger than what the Michter's or the Elijah Craig would be. Good. But yeah, I definitely get that sweetness, vanilla, marshmallow, kind of toasted wood, very light oak. That's about it.
It does smell nice.
Yeah, it's a nice smell.
Yeah.
For sure. Ready?
I'm ready.
Let's hit it.
Okay.
So the beginning of it, it's kind of like the smell.
Mm-hmm.
You get that super sweet. What kind of sweetness? I don't know. I'm going to have to go in for another drink. And then you get a little bit of the burn. What's the proof on this thing? I think it's 100, right?
Is 100 proof.
So yeah, I definitely get the sweetness and then that little bit of burn that you get. And then it kind of transitioned to something kind of weird to me that I couldn't identify. I need to hit it again. What do you think? Yeah,
I'm right there with you. I had pretty much the same experience. As far as the taste goes, I had basically the same experience as you kind of laid out there. I'm not entirely sure what the flavors were yet without revisit, but definitely sweetness breaks away a little bit. You get a little bit of that burn. You feel the proof a little bit.
So I chewed that one extra long. And interesting enough, right after I take it, I've had a couple of drinks of it, I go back in to smell it now.
Okay.
It smells super oaky. Weird kind of how your senses work together like that.
Yeah.
Because it shouldn't smell super oaky, especially if it's 2 to 3 year bourbon, because that's the minimum. That means as soon as they can churn this stuff out and call it bourbon, they're doing it. Which I'm sure their standards will rise the older they get. Only been around since 2012. So it's not like they're going to have a 6, 8, 10-year-old bourbon yet. They're not the Buffalo Traces, the Woodford Reserves of the world, where they've got this great amount of product that they have to kind of
yeah,
base
and the foundation to kind of build it off of as well.
Yeah, they're a small place right now.
It's impressive to see, honestly.
Because they are a craft distiller right now, right?
Yeah.
I think they may be getting on the bourbon trail once they make this move. I'm not sure if their production's to that level, because I think they even house their stuff with someone else. I can't remember who it was, though. They told us.
Yeah.
They used rick houses as someone else, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because they didn't have anything there on site.
Yeah, they are in the city. Not a great part of the city, but they're in the city.
I'm with you though on revisit after taking a couple sips there, kind of letting that open up a little bit, going back for the scent. I'm definitely getting that smell a little more, and I'm wondering if it has something to do with the 2 barrels.
Yeah. So craft bourbons have a taste that I don't know how to identify them. They have a certain kind of little twang to them. This has that, but I don't know what it is. So I kept that one for a long time in my mouth, and that 100 proof really started to kind of burn me pretty good.
Mm-hmm. You definitely could fool me giving this to me blind into thinking that it's a higher proof bourbon than it is. It's not overwhelming. It's not something, up in the 120 range or anything like that by no means, but you do definitely feel it.
Yeah.
And especially if you chew on it, like you said.
I think you have to chew on it to get that proof, because It's so sweet that when you drink it, if you were to just go ahead and swallow that, I think you would miss out on everything else that comes with it. Because for me, it does not have a hug.
It doesn't linger. Absolutely not. I'm with you.
When it's gone out of your mouth, it's gone. Besides, like just kind of like the remaining burning from the alcohol, almost like you were using mouthwash, like that kind of feel in your mouth. I don't have it in my throat. I don't have it in my chest, which I would 100 proof. I don't know if we should be holding it to that standard, but I mean it's getting up there to where I would like to.
Yeah, it's in triple digits. I mean, at that point, you should. I feel like at that point you should at least start to notice. You know, my initial impression on this, honestly, like you said, it's pretty sweet. One thing that comes to mind is, you know, just thinking about some of the people that we have had over to drink some whiskeys and stuff like that with us. We have a decent amount of people that don't necessarily. Well, I think probably, to be honest, we're the main rye drinkers out of our friend circle. So
rye, you've got to have a special spot for it, or it's easy to not.
So from that perspective, just thinking about some of our other friends, I think this would definitely be something I could see myself recommending for them.
Yeah, this is a very easy to drink, sweet on the tongue, doesn't burn going down whiskey. Yeah, I think this would be a good thing to show to people. I'm glad I have it. It's not something that I would probably purchase again. I like it. I don't love it.
Yeah. That would be something dependent on the price point. Like I said, if it's somewhere similar to what I'm thinking in my head, that's definitely a little too high for this in my book.
Yeah.
You know, if it were to be a little bit cheaper than that, maybe that would change my mind a little bit just to have around, but it's not something that I would actively seek out to have in my collection.
Okay. Overall impressions, Josh, I said it was good, not great. You want to score it first or want me to go?
Doesn't matter. I'm with you. Good, not great. I'm definitely going to score this above average.
Hold on. To show that we're not doing this.
This is going to be the one that we're like way off on, and then everybody's going to be like, yeah, see? They're out here cheating.
Yeah, we might not be, but we'll see. So this is my score. Josh can't see it. Josh, what is your score on this whiskey?
I agree with you. Good, not great whiskey.
Good, not great.
Above average for me, though. Not really stretching too far on this. I'm thinking a 6.6.
Okay, so our average is going to be a 6.5 because I wrote down 6.4.
Okay, so there
we are. It is a 6.5 whiskey. If you can get this in your area, let us know. It's a collection piece for me. If you've got the spare money and you've got a collection, yes, you want to add this. If you're just looking for kind of good bourbon, it's not really in maybe your budget to go out and spend a lot of money on stuff that you don't need, this ain't it.
Right. If nothing else, if you're just building a collection, you know, I'd recommend to have it sitting on the shelf just because it looks great.
Looks cool. Absolutely.
It's very cool.
And it's unique. Yeah. If you come across it, probably not a lot of people are going to have that because it says it's a limited series or a limited production. So 6.5. So if you've had it, let us know what you think. If it's on your shelves, let us know where you're at. So we kind of know where this thing's reaching out to. Josh, anything else before we go?
No, I don't think I have anything else on this one. Like Eric said, just let us know if it's even available around you. Kind of like the last video we had, some of these smaller ones like this, we're very interested to see just how far out they have gotten.
Absolutely. So. I don't know if it's like a Kentucky bubble, this is just here, or if they have sent a few cases out to California or something, and you guys got it out there. So, let us know. Thanks for watching. Please give us a like. And like I said, comment. So thanks for watching.
Yep. See you guys. Chicken Cherry Cola.